It took a couple of days. Obviously you're very upset. You want to be there with your team, your teammates. All the hard work you put in, but just like anything else, I'm gonna work my butt off to get back to where I was and be better than what I was.
Welcome back to Enough Said. Timberwolves player Zach LaVine is back after having ACL surgery on his left knee last month. He says he's positive and focused. He even joked that instead of shooting 500 jumpers a day, he's now doing 500 leg raises. And also this week, the Timberwolves announced that they will be unveiling a new logo next month. It is all part of what they call a new chapter in their franchise. Dan.
The latest of, in unison. How many chapters and how many blueprints?
A lot of books. A lot of books.
And, it's amazing because I don't know, they probably want to have that dramatic moment on the unveiling of the logo.
Yeah.
I did find out a little bit about it.
Did you really?
Did
some insight?
Yeah, it's a kind of a profile shot of Maniletto, I think the famous bullfighter.
The Matador?
Doing the Olay thing, because that really reflects what our defensive performance has been lately. Once we were all but eliminated, we went on that road trip that we needed to do well on to stay in it, and we gave up, I think, 130 points a game and 52% shooting. We've gone in the tank completely, and it's over. So we're happy for the new logo. I'm kind of logoed out, to be real honest with you. And
I think they should go back to the original logo. I thought the original logo for 1989.
Not vicious enough. I
know it wasn't, but it's hard to call a franchise that started in 1989 that has very little history classic. But maybe
this 14 years?
Maybe it's because of my youth. I love that old one from because I was 7 when the Wolves came here, and I have some affinity for that logo. You're right about the defense, and you checked out. You hung with
it. That's Tibbs' calling card.
I know.
It's very disappointing.
The two most important players are not playing the defense, right?
No.
With Wiggins, who used to be a very good two-way player, and Karl-Anthony Towns, who they told us was a good two-way player. I love both of those guys. They are still young.
They're still the foundation.
They should be playing in March Madness right now as opposed to the NBA. Let's just get all of those precursors out. But it is disappointing, and I think we've talked about it on this show, when Karl-Anthony Towns himself makes Kevin Garnett comparisons. We're not the only ones that say, hey, Cat's got a little bit of KG in them. He brings up the Garnett name, and when he says, I've got some KG in me, I've got some dog in me. You don't.
No,
you don't have all of it.
You have better offensive skill.
Definitely.
But you don't have
But there's a part of it that he's not doing.
And why not when they did it for a while and had success with it? That's what's a little daunting and scary about this.
Okay, we got to keep moving on. Picture this. You pay good money for good basketball tickets only to find out the star players are taking a break. Some drama with the NBA with some teams sitting out their top guys. The NBA commissioner even sending out a memo to all 30 teams saying this is an issue and it will be brought up at a big meeting in New York next month. Justin.
It is a crisis, I think, at this point, and not for the right reason. The reason why I think the commissioner is getting involved, because the TV partners are starting to squawk a little bit, right? So they're getting
a lot of media attention.
They're getting to the answer, but I really don't think it should have anything to do with the media partners because they're going to make their money, right? And we're in the media. We like being media partners. We all make money off of this stuff.
Well, are they?
What do you mean?
Well, eventually you're going to have advertisers saying, wait a minute.
Maybe.
If you can't deliver the numbers that you told me you're going to deliver because the best 4 players on the Cleveland Cavaliers or Golden State Warriors aren't playing, then I want some of my money back too.
And that's why Adam Silver has gotten involved, that's a fine reason if you want to do it. But the most important reason
you're a blue collar
is what Lori said. I know, isn't that interesting? What Lori said. You spend, let's say you bring your family of 4, they're $100 tickets or they're $50 tickets. The price is immaterial. If the Cavs are coming in town or the Warriors are coming in town or San Antonio Spurs are coming into town, that might be the one time somebody jumps into the pool and says, you know what, it's expensive, but my kid wants to go see Steph. And you show up and they're not there, I would be furious. I would be livid.
And, well, as we've talked about, now you got it on both ends of the NBA. It's the only sport. It's also coming up again. You got a number of teams actively tanking again at the bottom end of the bracket to try to get more ping pong balls to win the lottery. So now you got a commissioner who's got, at the top end it's happening, allegedly to rest players for the greater good over the period of their season, and it delivers a terrible message. And the frauds are the coaches, because they rarely, if ever, do it in front of their home fans.
It's true.
If you have the cojones to do it, and you believe the conviction of it, don't just do it on the road where your own fans don't have to be subjected to it. That's, to me, that's where they lose.
As much as we love Popovich, he says, would you rather see him for a game or here every night or an extra 3 years? First of all, I don't buy the latter. And I'd rather see him for the night that I paid. And if you want to give me my money back, Pop or Duncan or Curry or whoever, I'll take your money back. That's fine, but I want to see him that night.
Maybe there could be like an app that right before the game you could see who is playing.
That might be the answer.
I think it's called Twitter. They do the injury report.
True.
That's a good idea.
Well, let's move on. Enough said on that. What was supposed to be an anti-bias message backfired at Gustavus Adolphus College. The idea was to encourage education and promote active bystanders. But students didn't know, thinking these posters that said it is your civic duty to report any and all illegal aliens to U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. They are criminals. America is a white nation. Were put up by someone with ill intent. Disastrous idea, Dan.
Disastrous doesn't even begin to describe it. It's so mind-blowingly asinine that, and it comes from people, again, who want to believe
that they're doing the right
thing.
they're
the most progressive, enlightened individuals on race that are out there. We're going to get your attention. What they do by getting your attention this way, by lying, particularly in the Trump era where the media is on this vigilance watch to say, is there stuff going on in this climate that shouldn't be going on in any climate but is more likely to now? And here you hand them exactly that kind of story. I don't know what the climate is on that particular campus or not, but this is invented to make a point. And instead of actually starting a dialogue on race,
which they wanted to do,
all people do is get bogged down on, well, you're idiots. And if anybody in an official capacity at the university had anything to do with this, they should be gone. I mean, I don't even think there's room for negotiation on this sort of thing. It's that bad and that dangerous in 2017 when we're all trying to divide what are the real stories and what are this is a fake news story. In effect, it doesn't advance the conversation at all.
It doesn't sound like anybody from the school, like you said, the faculty was involved, but the students clearly were, the different student groups. And from what we've heard, not the first time that some of the students at Gustavus have gone down this road.
Very precious.
Well, the problem is, I mean, in all honesty,
school apparently in that regard.
Well, but I don't think it's that different from a lot of schools in Minnesota in that it's not that diverse. Right. I mean, if you want to really break it down, we had some callers on this that said they don't have a lot of diversity. They're not that smart when it comes to how to handle issues of diversity. They think they might be doing the right thing.
Well, they think they're smarter.
Well, that's a good point. They do.
That's the scary part.
But they're not around, honestly, from where the kids are coming from in high school down there to St. Peter. There's not a lot of diversity
anywhere around. We're in a Twitter
world,
right? We're in a world of quick images, and so that thing went out right away.
It did.
And people are going, I think me included, going, oh, that's sad. What the hell's going on there? They got to investigate that. And the next thing you know, these clowns are doing it as part of some kind of an outreach. It's sad.
Next up, we have a release date for American Assassin, the movie version of Vince Flynn's best-selling novel. It's coming to theaters on September 15th, starring Michael Keaton and then Dylan O'Brien as Mitch Rapp. Vince Flynn, as we know, passed away from prostate cancer back in 2013. He was born in St. Paul, went to St. Thomas, and Dan, you knew him well.
Yeah, this is, it's funny that you know, we're finally seeing this thing come to fruition because as many times as we had Vince in studio, he learned to have a great sense of humor about negotiating with Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because he basically said, you're giving up a lot of, but at some point you just have to understand you're going to give up control, and you may not even recognize the final product. But let's give it a shot. And I always wondered whether it was ever going to actually happen because it got moved around from person to person and who wanted to do it and whether it would be cast. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope they nailed it. I don't know if they did. But at least now we have a date to look forward to, something that I know he very much wanted to see. He unfortunately will not get to see it. How they handled what was a very, very effective character and a very popular character.
And you've got the blue blood, so to speak, in Michael Keaton. And
Michael Keaton is perfect for the role, I think, going in that he's supposed to play.
But also the role of Mitch Rapp, which I know Vince and you talked about a lot. They liked that it would be kind of an unknown guy. Kind of like, this is dangerous, the 50 Shades of Grey guy. Lori can tell me about that, but I'm
not sure Vinny would appreciate that.
No, he wouldn't.
He
might like it, but he's unknown.
Yeah.
He was a newer guy because everybody has a character. Everybody knew who in their mind they wanted Christian Grey to be. Everybody in their mind probably knows who they think who Mitch Rapp should be. So to get a legitimate, big-time, powerful movie star that's done a bunch of stuff might be the wrong way to go. So the fact that they get a 25-year-old that can maybe grow into it if they continue to do it.
If you get the right guy.
He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, that's the key to it. Well, I've learned over the years to this day that for a lot of people, that Mitch Rapp character in these books, people are religious about their connection to that. I learned that. There's a very popular character that really seemed to strike home with lots of people. And That's why I'm, for the sake of the family and even for everybody who's remained loyal to that name, to Vince's name, and to Mitch Rapp's name, I hope they nailed it. I really do. I would love to see that. It'd be fun.
And they've got 2 books, since his death, right? That Kyle Mills has
Kyle
started.
Mills
and
has helped out.
The fact that those have sold so well, I think, speaks to what you said. People want to see Mitch through. They want to see where he goes, where they thought he